We're at the White House Campground near the Paria River, and we're looking at a Rosgen Sea Valley as much as I can tell. And I want to do just a overall summary of everything that I found in this meadow, starting with that little juniper right there on the river left as we're looking downstream. So the river is between that juniper and the cliff wall. In that canyon, you see just straight away from the juniper is White House Spring. White House Spring is flowing and active and has an amazing groundwater dependent ecosystem in it. There is a nick point where the flow from that system would come into the Paria River, and it is about a 3-foot drop. We're going to come back to that, why that is not as significant as one may think. Moving along, the Paria River itself is a meandering stream, and the lower floodplain there that you can see at my first initial assessment was abandoned. However, upon looking at it more, I did notice that there were wetland adjacent plants down in this basin, which indicates that it would probably get inundated a bit more than I thought, and still active. All right, as we were moving along, some of the other observations that I made over in this location, right there at that canyon, is a seep. I don't know if it was a contact or a fault line or what, but there is a nice seep going in that area. Further up a little bit more, we have other indicators of near surface water and wetland conditions in the riparian zone. We have our willows straight over there and a couple cottonwoods. The tributaries within the valley itself that add to the Paria River do not flow adequately enough to add flow to the Paria River. Further along in this section, the river begins to bend left towards valley left and was cutting towards the road. They had to move the road at one point in time and added in some structures. The flow from the Nautilus trailhead coming down has another 3-foot cut as it enters the Paria River. And right down there is a second juniper that I wanted to point out. The first juniper you saw at the beginning and the second juniper here, those are the lowest junipers located in the valley. There's no starts or new juniper growth below that point, which is kind of encouraging. That was one of the other indicators to tell me that this entire valley is most likely still active, not necessarily on an annual scale. I would go with the 3 to 5 year monitoring on those juniper to see if this floodplain has indeed been abandoned. However, realizing that downstream in the Paria River, as it enters these Vermilion Cliffs, it's going to have a significant choke point. There's a choke point at the freeway 3 miles north. So this basin isn't going to cut down much more. My assessment on why there is a 3-foot cut where the 2 primary tributaries enter the Paria River here is that this system, the Paria River meandering stream system, as it does what meandering streams do, grades this floodplain faster than the tributaries are able to reach equilibrium with the Paria River. As far as vegetation, there was some tamarisk, not a significant amount, although it should probably be watched. Lots of willows and other natives. There are tumbleweeds and some other noxious and invasive weeds, but that's kind of expected in these conditions. And that's all I've got for the White House Campground, Paria River, Vermilion Cliffs area that I've been camping at. If you've noticed some other things about the floodplain and the riparian system, drop a comment. If I got something wrong, please drop a comment and I will make that correction. Appreciate the watch and be sure to follow and check out my feed for more.